very, very smoothly. And I can tell you that because I have sitting next to me Jamie McIntyre, the CEO of Swimming Tasmania. Jamie, you must be cock-a-hoot in how things have been run over this weekend.
Absolutely, Andrew. It's gone so smoothly, and again, to our officials, the amount of work they do is absolutely amazing to make this happen. Yeah.
Fantastic athletes on display, and talking of which, as we just quickly have a look at these fine young men as they're going down the first of their 100 metres as they're going to touch. If we just quickly go through from lane 1, Michael Bolt, 19-year-old, this morning did a 40.41. Clancy van der Klennon, the Hobart Aquatic Club, 4.32.21. Riley Williams in lane 3, Nuttawading, 4.27.48. Ronan Keating was our fastest there, a 17-year-old from Nuttawading, 4.23.34. Thomas Hay, 4.25.48 in lane 5. Noah Camprad, lane 6. Hobart Aquatic, 4.30.85. Samuel Askey Doran, 4.34.64. And James Belstead, 19-year-old, in a 5 minutes and 49. Now, it has been an absolutely action-packed night. And what about last night? We had the dead heat, and we almost had the second dead heat.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Not been around swimming for a while, and it's the first time we've actually seen one in the finals here. So,
it was really interesting, mate, because by the time the race had gone, I got all excited. I started pumping and wanting to have a replay, but there's no time for this. The next race starts.
Yeah, they don't mess around. It's all done to times to get it done quickly so the athletes get the chance to get home.
So all the swimmers have converged. How about numbers? How is swimming in Tasmania going at present?
Absolutely booming along, Andrew. We actually have increased our numbers this year already. We're up around 100 athletes on last year, so at this time, with our winter season about to get underway very shortly, so that's more of an increase. So, yeah, going really well.
It's great to see that, and I'm wondering if that young lady from Launceston who seems to be dominating the 2, the 4 and the 8, young Titmus, Ariana Titmus, do you think that sort of might encourage those kiddies to just get in the water and say, doesn't matter where I'm from Tasmania, I can get on and do this?
Absolutely, and it's very evident that we're getting a lot more young ladies coming along participating, and that would be the reason why, most definitely.
Well, as we're catching up on good old times, we can see in lane 1 a bit of a smoke. He's doing the old Kieran Perkins here. He's Michael Bolt. He came in, the 19-year-old, with a 4.40. What can you tell me about him? Has he done a smoking? You think he can come back and win this race?
I actually do, yeah. Michael's been around for a while. Great athlete. Does a fair bit with surf lifesaving as well, so very used to these longer distance.
Yeah, he's decided, look, if I'm out on these lanes, I'm going to go quick early, and I'm going to throw it to those middle guys, of course, in the middle, in Rowan Keating, and also in lane 5, Thomas Hay, looking very good. So, of all the swimmers, I know it's very hard to isolate people, Jamie, but are there any sort of young stars coming up from the under-11s right through to the open age group that you can pinpoint?
Yeah, most definitely. Stephanie McCarthy from Hobart Aquatic today broke a 50-metre record, and that's a long-standing record going back to 2001. So that's a fantastic effort.
Well, let's have a look at this race. It's really getting exciting, and I think that Michael Bolt down here in lane 1 is going, but look at the lane 4. This is going to be close as we go to the finish, stroke for stroke, and I think he's got him. Kieran Perkins-esque as he'll look up, and I think you might see the fist come up. What a fantastic swim. He has done it, and that has got the crowd alight here at the Doone Kennedy Aquatic Centre. What a way to start a final series. And that is magnificent swim. You told me before we got underway, I know, you just sort of whispered me, you said, listen, Hoppy, what about in lane 1? You keep an eye on him.
Yep, most definitely.
So we'll now go and get our starters and get the start of the ladies in the 400 metres as well.
Billy Roger. In lane 2 from Hobart Aquatic, Brenna Lemon. In lane 3 from MLC Aquatic, Georgie Maloney. In lane 4 from Loretto Aquatic, Dominic Hart. Swimming in lane 5 from Hobart Aquatic, Kate Denham. In lane 6 from Sandy Bay, Jardine Ralph. In lane 7 from Hobart Aquatic, Amelia McCarthy And in lane 8 from Riverside Aquatic, Chelsea Savage. The final of event 107.
Again, ladies are on their mark, focused, looking down that first 50. Concentration now. And away, nice and smoothly. Of course, as we mentioned, Jamie, if we look at the records, I think there'll be no surprise for everyone out there who has got it. And of course, back on the 16th of April in 2015, the young lady from Launceston, Ariana Titmus, with a 4:13.53. And when we look at the qualification times, I think that might be reasonably safe.
I would believe so, Andrew, most definitely.
Yeah, no disrespect to our swimmers. These are fine young athletes, but she was, wow, she is something else. And talking of something else, have a look in lane 4. That is Dominique Hart, who already has gone out early. She has decided, I'm going to throw this right down. And Lorento Aquatic, so that's a visitor from Victoria.
Most definitely, Andrew, yes.
So it's great to see some competitors. I've had a bit of a look around, so I can see mostly the Victorians. Anyone come from other parts of the country?
There's one team from New South Wales, and there's actually 27 teams from Victoria.
Brilliant. Oh, that is fantastic to think that they've made their way down. I guess they must hold this particular championship in reasonably high esteem to take the time to come down.
Very much so. And the other thing with it is the pool. They rate the pool as a very fast pool, which still holds quite a few world records.
Now, back when I had colour in my hair, I used to sort of get off school early and run up here. It was an open air one and it didn't have the lap over. So you're telling me I would be swimming faster now than I was when I was a bit more youthful.
Most definitely, Andrew, especially if we put one of the new suits on you.
So it's interesting. So it's that lap that goes over there. So that is the way the pool is. I'm always fascinated on that when I hear of a fast pool or a slow pool. So what about the open air situation? Just recently I was in up on the Gold Coast, and of course they're swimming with an open air pool. How will that go for times, would you suggest?
It should be okay, especially swimming the finals at night. It should be a little bit more settled, but the last thing you want is the breeze through there. Will actually slow the athletes down.
Okay, so we'll just keep an eye on these young ladies as they go round. So in lane 4 it's Dominique Hart, followed by Kate Denham in lane 5 as they turn and go further afield. We can see now turning in 7 there's Amelia McCarthy. You're suggesting she's one of the athletes that we keep our eye on?
Yeah, Amelia's done extremely well. That's Stephanie's older sister.
Sorry, I apologise, Stephanie. Yep.
Kate Denham definitely will come through on this, I believe, and very close to being the first Tasmanian, I would have thought.
Okay, so they are coming down and they're really starting to settle into their work. I always find this quite an interesting race. That would you suggest that they'll be looking to do some negative splits here to bring it home faster?
Most definitely. Be trying to qualify for nationals, so definitely we'll be pushing extremely hard. And
I mean, a man who makes his living, you're in swimming Tasmania, and you'll be very much into the national program. How is it that the Dolphins, you might suggest, will go in the Commonwealth Games?
Extremely well. They've been prepared. A little bit different this year, having the trials only 5 weeks out for the Commonwealth Games, first time ever. A lot of the swimmers haven't tapered down, so we expect the times will be even stronger.
One of the things too, Jamie, I was interested in watching those events, they tried something different for more racing. Instead of the heats, semi-finals, it went heat finals, so that they had to race right from the get-go.
Most definitely, and it's actually to push the athletes, and instead of swimming a lazy heat, where a lot of the top athletes can half cruise and get through, so they actually make them go full bore.
Well, that's what we'd like to see, is racing. And talking of racing, we've certainly got a great one here, and it is Dominique Hart, who has stretched her lead out. I'm most impressed by her style. You can see a nice big stretch pulling down through the body. Faster kick now as she's starting to open up, and swimming very, very competently as she, as you can see, just sort of leaning forward. She looks both ways. She thinks to herself, I've got this covered. I've got 2 body lengths, and coming down, going beautifully, as we can see. And the pool looks great. The whole conditions. It's a great place for swimming up on the Queen's Domain in Hobart, as it has gone through. Dominique Hart has finished first, And let's have a look at that time, Jamie, a 4:35, 4:30.35. I reckon she'd be quite happy with that. She's about 5 seconds faster than this morning.
Yeah, which is a fantastic swim. Absolutely.
So there you go, and all the competitors coming in now. It's fantastic. If you've made it to the final, you've done a great job. So another thing I've noticed here, as soon as they finish, Jamie, they sort of reach across and a big smile on their face. They've known them and they've given their all.
Most definitely.
Okay, so there is the official times as we are preparing for our next race.
Event 108 in your program, the boys 14 to 15 years, 200 metre butterfly final. Swimming in lane 1 from Melbourne H2O, Cole Piers. In lane 2 from Hobart Aquatic, Rufus Bresnahan. In lane 3 from EC Waves, Damien Rolfe. In lane 4 from Nunawading, Nathan Tran. In lane 5 from MLC Aquatic, Hamish Bowden. Swimming in lane 6 from Windsor Swim Club, Christopher Leaker. In lane 7 from Halle-Berry Aquatic, Malachi Brennan. And in lane 8 from Yarra Plenty, Ethan Appat. This is the final of event 108.
As we heard, the final of the boys 14-15, 200 metres butterfly. They're away. Lovely start, big strong kick, and as you saw, it was in lane 5, came up early, but in lane 4 it was Nathan Tran who stayed under that water a little bit longer, and now he's come up and in swimming. But a very good start there by Hamish Bowden. He's swimming very nicely at the top of screen. There we see zooming in lane 5 in the middle of our screen, but it sort of tightens up as it gets to the turn. And I think it was Nathan Tran who touched the first, and he this morning did a 2:18.89, and he'll be chasing a 2:08.90 by Jacob Vincent. Of course, young Jacob Vincent, he was a cracker of a swimmer. He has many of the butterfly records. Coming back now, very high in the water, as you'd expect at this stage, really working harder. This is a very, very hard stroke to master. Most of the competitors will go down, put their head in the water for a couple of times before they go up, and then come back up and take a breath, and those arms come over. Very hard work on the shoulders. I reckon a lot of these guys, not only be they're doing lots of swimming, but they'd be in the gym, and you can notice it when they get out of the water. They're big, strong fellas, although they're only 14 or 15. Everyone is doing a great job, and as you can see in lane 4, it is Nathan Tran ahead of Hamish Bowden. See back down in here in lane 1, still doing a great job, Cole Pearson. Lane 2, Rufus Bresnahan, he's still coming up in that race, but it's more over towards that centre of the pool. Lane 3 we see going nicely too was Damien Rolfe. As they've turned and they're heading for home in the last lap of this 200 metres final for the boys, 14 to 15 butterfly. And now you can almost see he's got a bit of a sniff of the line as young Nathan Tran. He is starting to open up now, and dare I say it, for use of a different word, he is starting to fly here in this race. Have a look at him go. He's getting out of the water even higher. He's really pulling through now. Terrific swimming by him in front of Hamish Bowden, and he touches the wall first. Second is Hamish Bowden, and it's going to be close for third, but I think down here in lane 3, it'll be Damien Rolfe from Christopher Leckie, and a very, very nice swim there in the boys' 200 metres butterfly. See, breathing pretty hard, and I reckon you would after going through that. And here are the official results, 2:14.49 for Nathan Tran.
14 to 15 years, 200 metre butterfly final. Swimming in lane 1 from Nunawading, Rydell Smith. In lane 2 from Loreto Aquatic, Jade Cosford. In lane 3 from South Esk, Cameron Hawkins. In lane 4 from Hobart Aquatic, Sophie Botterill James. In lane 5 from Hobart Aquatic, Lauren Todorovic. In lane 6 from Launceston Aquatic, Jade Nichols. And in lane 7 from HC Swim Club, Amika Healy-Shirazi. This is the final of event 109.
So as does happen in each of these evenings, there is no time at all to take a breath from one race directly into the next, and it's the 200 metres, the girls in the 14 to 15 getting underway here. Very even start, as you can see them doing a lot of hard work underneath the water. As we just check our starters here, it is Rydell Smith in lane 1 with a 2:49.25. Jade Cosford, a 2:44.62 in 2. Cameron Hawkins, a 2:38.12 this morning. Our fastest competitor so far was Sophie Bottrell James. She did a 2:23.48, and she'll be out there to try and get that record of a 2:19.90, which was set back in 2003 by Penelope Sproul. In lane 5, we have Lauren Todorovic, and she did a 2:29.06. Jade Nichols, a 2:40.72, and our last qualifier was Mika Healy-Korski with a 2:48.54, as we now check to see how the girls are going, and true to form, it is lanes 4 and 5 taking it out. But moreover than that, it is Sophie Bottrell James to turn round at the halfway mark, and she pushed. She stayed quite low in the water, didn't go round like a jack in the box. She sort of sunk a little bit, and I'm wondering if she went out really hard in that first 100. The time will tell, as we'll see her working her way down in this the third of the 4 laps. You see here, there's what I spoke about in that last one. Goes down and puts her head down a couple and really pushes forward momentum, then comes up for a breath and normally comes up twice and then goes back into a work. Very nice style, strong kick. I know as an old veteran, I used to have a crack at this one, and I really found myself after a couple of laps, you get very low in the back end of your body, and that's where you need to do some of your best work. As the girls are now starting to head for home, we'll keep an eye on that clock. I think that might be safe, that record at 2:19.90, and Penelope Stroud, of course, has the 200 and let's just check here. Was I right? I apologise. I think the 200 fly was a 2:12. Yeah, it was a 2:12.80. That was Nicole Hunter. Penelope Sproul, of course, was the individual medley, as they're now coming down towards that line, 2:20, and ticking off and coming in for a very comfortable victory to Sophie. Very nice swim, and back down in lane 1 to third. So it was Sophie James Bottrell in first, Lauren Todorovic in lane 5 second, and Rydell Smith touched in third, I think we saw there. So excellent swimming by the girls in the 200 metre butterfly. Just waiting for that official result.
1-1-0. The boys 12 to 13 years 200 metre backstroke final. Swimming in lane 1 from Hobart Aquatic, Lachlan Hutton. In lane 2 from South Esk, Harry Reid. In lane 3 from HC Swim Club, Kai Doreen. In lane 4 from Nunawading, Yanning Zhang. In lane 5 from CA Tritons, Jack Van Loon. In lane 6 from Hobart Aquatic, James Clues. In lane 7 from Hobart Aquatic, Riley Ferguson. And in lane 8 from South Esk, Zane Zetner. This is the final of event 110.
Boys descend into that water, just getting the body acclimatised. Whistles on the go, and they're ready for a start. They're set and away. Good even start in the boys' 200 metre backstroke. And coming up under the water in lane 4 was Yanning Zhang from the Nunawading Swimming Club. And there's something about, when we get Jamie back in, I'll have to quiz him about that Nunawading club. I tell you what, they are very, very strong in this particular discipline. And Yanning has shot out to a very, very commanding lead after 50 metres. Great technique as he, from millimetre perfect the way he came into that wall, glided in gracefully, really coiled like a tight spring and pushed himself off to get maximum distance on the turn, and he increased his lead. In lane 5, Jack Van Loon, very close, as you can see, to those ropes. Further back into lane 3, Kai Doreen, and very closely going to James Clues up in 6, back down into 2, that's Harry Reid, and then Riley Ferguson, Zane Zenta and Lockie Hunter. So they've turned halfway through the 200 metres for boys, 12 to 13. The majority of the boys, those top competitors, are 13-year-olds with James Clunes, Riley Ferguson and Zane Zetner, the 12-year-old lads. So they'll have another opportunity to come back. So it's always normally a couple of age groups in it, and probably more over than that. The top age sectors are the ones we would probably look to see how they go. So both of these guys are swimming for the record for 12s and the 13-year-olds. If they've turned now, and it is Yanning Zhang who has a comfortable lead with the 2:18.73 this morning. He'd like to think he can get under that. Now, whether he can get down to that record, I reckon he could be a chance if he goes to his maximum potential with James Curran set in December 2014, which is a 2:15.62. We'll keep an eye on that, but it is Yanning Zhang, and Jack Van Loon in lane 5 has really come back hard, doing a great job. Close to the wall now as he flicks in for a 2:16.93. Lovely swimming there. 2:15.62 was the previous record. He got close, but not quite close enough to gain, as Jack Van Loon really did have a good swim there. He came back, especially in that last 50 metres, but he had to hang a little bit tough a little bit earlier. But a very good swim by the boys in the 12 to 13 backstroke. There are our times, and we'll get the final classification from the judges when they get the all clear. But as you can see here at the Doone Kennedy Aquatic Centre, as one race finish, it's like a log jam, and the next race is ready to go.
12 to 13 years, 200 metre backstroke final. Swimming in lane 1 from Sandy Bay, Elise Hewson. In lane 2 from South Esk, Charlotte Pillsbury Milne. In lane 3 from Yarra Plenty, Amelia Silaro. In lane 4 from Geelong, Madison Cooper. In lane 5 from Launceston Aquatic, Emily Mitchell. In lane 6 from Hobart Aquatic, Olivia Nichols. In lane 7 from Burnie, Millie McGregor. And in lane 8 from HC Swim Club, Grace Leslie. A final of 111.
The girls enter the water. It's a bit of a shock to the system. They'll acclimatise, and they are ready to go. They'll recoil and set. And the starters' hands now. It goes. It's interesting to see the start. Some of those better competitors really arch the back and get a little bit of height to maximise that start as they go out, and then you see them kicking underneath the water. They'll do a couple of lengths if they can, and then come up and ready to swim. And it is between lanes 4 and 5. Madison Cooper and Emily Mitchell going down this first, closely followed by Solaro and Nichols in lanes 3 and 6 respectively. And in fact, a very nice turn there by Emily Solaro in lane 3, but just dropped back slightly on the turn, and it's a race in 2, as we can see. But it is the 200 metres. They're going down nicely. You can't win the race at this start of the stage, but you can lose it, so you want to stay in touch. As we see them now just getting into their work. These are the stages where you've just got to get your rhythm, got to get the breathing right, and just settle into what your plan is and your strategy. Don't be off put by someone else who's trying to go out early. or come back later. You've got to have a strict plan and stick to it. And I'm sure all the coaches, as we saw earlier on, when you get here, it is an absolute hive of activity. The stopwatches are out and the coaches are giving their last instructions, and all these primed athletes are going through their warm-up process. Of course, they'd do the old visualisation and they'd swim this race 100 times the night before to make sure that every stroke is to a premium. Each time you pull your arm through, you want it to get the maximum thrust in your body movement, and one small error can cost you a race, and we saw that last night where we had a dead heat and won at 1/100th of a second, so from really close swimming. That is now back to the race, and it is Cooper who has got the ascendancy at this stage from Mitchell. Back to Calaro, who is really swimming nicely in lane 3. Back up in lane 8 we saw Leslie just going down that other lap, and further to there it was Nichols and Pillsbury, Milne and Hewson as well. So back to our leader, it is Madison Cooper, who's just coming in gracefully. You can see it's getting close, and there she is, just gliding in very close for second, and it's gone to lane 5, and that's Emily Mitchell. Back here to Amelia Calario, and between 1 and 2, that's Charlotte Pillsbury-Milne in lane 2 and Elise Hewson in lane 1. And our competitors touch the wall and they are exhausted. And our final competitor, Grace Leslie, the 12-year-old from Hobart City Swim Club, who did a 3:05, and she's coming down. Let's see how she goes, and she's ready to touch. Well done by Grace. And there is the final of the 200-metre breaststroke for girls 12 and 13. Official result coming up now.
One, 1, 2. The boys 16 to 18 years 200-metre freestyle final. Introducing the finalists, swimming in lane 1 from Riverside Aquatic, Kyron Gillies. In lane 2 from HC Swim Club, Harrison Grant. In lane 3 from Burnie Amateur Swim Club, Patrick Roberts. In lane 4 from Nunawading, Ben Goff. In lane 5 from CA Tritons, James Petropoulos. In lane 6 from South Esk, Samuel Cullen. In lane 7 from Hobart Aquatic, Clancy van der Cullen. And in lane 8 from HC Swim Club, Shay Burnett. Event 112.
So the boys now coming up. These are the big fellas now, and you can certainly tell that from the physique, and they will be really motoring in this 200 metres. Of course, I take you back to some time ago, and the 200 metres we had some absolutely amazing race. This is in Australia, and we had Thorpe and Hackett really going toe-to-toe in this particular event, and Klim. It is one of the events that we've done very nicely in, and it'll be fascinating to see these big fellas go out hard in the first 50 of what is a 4-lap race for them. Going down hard as we just checking now. It is in the middle of the pool. Ben Goff in lane 4. He's just being tipped out at the moment by James Petropoulos. Followed closely in lane 3 by Patrick Roberts. They're our main movers, and up to the top in 6, that is Samuel Cullen. But again, it's the race between those two guys. The state records are 1:53.27. That was set in December 2013 by Will Harmson. So it'll be interesting to see how that record goes. At this morning's qualifications are 1:58.80, and it is a very interesting race now as these two in the middle of the pool, about Benny Goff and James Petropoulos, really going head-to-head, toe-to-toe, and as you can see, excuse me, it is Ben Goff who is just glancing straight, eye to eye. It's going to be interesting on the turn, and Goff goes in hard against the wall and gets a nice turn. We're interested to see if he changes his breathing. He hasn't as yet, I'd be keeping an eye on James Petropoulos in lane 5, as their really rating has gone up somewhat, and it is Ben Goff now who's putting his foot down, and he's cleared out to be a body length now, and Petropoulos doesn't seem to have anything to go with him, although he's really fighting hard as they touch the wall. And a fine swim by all of these competitors in lane 3 coming in. That was Patrick Roberts into 3rd position. He'll be on the dais, and he'll be really, really happy with that, as the rest of the guys now just cruising down to that finishing line. In lane 2, it was Harris and Grant. And just to confirm, our winner was Ben Goff. Really went out hard, and it was close to that 100, but after that turn in that back half of the race, he really showed he was the better swimmer, and a comfortable victory.
Swimming in lane 1 from Hobart Aquatic, Amelia McCarthy. In lane 2 from Nunawading, Emma Alamand. In lane 3 from Hobart Aquatic, Kate Denham. In lane 4 from Loretto Aquatic, Dominique Hart. In lane 5 from Nunawading, Lily Hall. In lane 6 from Halle Aquatic, Zoe Moran. In lane 7 from HC Swim Club, Maya Grant. In lane 8 from Launceston Aquatic, Dawson Howell. The final of event 113.
So now we have the Open girls. Some really swift times this morning. A couple of very close ones, and of course that's in the middle of the pool. And that is in lane 4, Dominique Hart with a 2:11.85, and Lily Hall from Nunawading with a 2:12.63. So we'll expect a pretty competitive race, and then it's dropped back slightly to Kate Denham with a 2:14.59, and in lane 6 Zoe Moran with a 2:18.05. But it's great to see these girls making the finals, and it was interesting on that first 50 metres, it was Hart and Hall looking eye to eye, and now they are still, you can see in lane 4 it was Dominique Hart from Loretto Aquatic who decided to change the way she was breathing, and she's looked over her right shoulder in this particular time. But in the previous lap, going downhill if you like, she was breathing over her left shoulder, so she could look her competitor square in the eye and say, I'm here and I'm not going away, and you're going to have to fight hard if you want to get past me. We can see at lane 8, one of the competitors went pretty hard early. Hope there hasn't been a problem there by Dawson Howe, but we'll keep our eye on her. But it is back to lane 4. Really swimming nicely was Dominique Hart. Has the ascending at the moment from Lily Hall. And 3rd position is Kate Denham. And you can see those 3 girls starting to stretch this lead out now as they turn and come for home. This is where you really get that extra kick. The beat will go up, the arms start to move a little bit quicker. You can see that's happened in lane 5, trying to increase her rate was Lily Hall. She might have caught, she's got up to the ankles there of Dominique Hart, but I think it's a little bit too hard. That angle's slightly deceptive, as lane 3, Kate Denham, looked like she was making ground, but she hasn't. And it's a very, very enthusiastic crowd urging these girls to the line. And as we can see, lanes 4, 5 and 3, and that was Dominique Hart followed by Lily Hall and Kate Denham as the rest of the competitors are coming in now. And that was Dawson Howell. I was just concerned and hope she's okay as she stopped at the top of her first 100. And now we'll have a look at and wait for the official time, as is always the case. The girls will stay there. And if you're wondering why we haven't got any starters, they are back at the other end of the pool, ready for the 50 metre. And there is our winner, Dominique Hart.
The next event for decision in your program, event 114, the men's 50 metre breaststroke final. Introducing the A finalist, swimming in lane 1 from Hobart Aquatic, James Belstead. In lane 2 from HC Swim Club, Michael Bolt. In lane 3 from EC Waves, Bradley Patterson. In lane 4 from Hobart Aquatic, Jack Evans. Swimming in lane 5 from Riverside Aquatic, William Bonney. In lane 6 from Starplex, Josh Ryan. In lane 7 from Riverside Aquatic, Jordan Cooper. And in lane 8 from Burnie Amateur Swimming Club, Oliver Malley. This is the A final of event 114.
So it is the final of the 50 metre breaststroke. Absolutely crucial that these young men keep their form. There'll be a tendency to try and get up and down a little bit quicker, but you've just got to trust that your stroke is what you've been practicing, and you do all your hard work under the water. They'll be chasing that 28.40 set in 2010 by Carl Werzer. But in lanes 4 and 5, it is Jack Evans and William Bonney going hard at it, and they're stroke for stroke. And this can come down to when you just touch the wall, depending on what stroke it is, whether it's an up or a down. And you can see in lane 4 going better is Evans from Bonney as they come down to the wall, and that's how it's finished. It is Evans from Bonney back over to Patterson, followed by Josh Ryan, and a very, very good swim. Excellent swimming. It is a 30.18, just outside this morning's time of 30.05, but nevertheless, that's a gold medal for Jack Evans from the Hobart Aquatic Centre.
114.
So it is the B final here in the men's breaststroke. And they are away in lane 1, William Roberts, 2, Jacob Lincoln. And then we've got young Bresnahan, I think, in lane 3, Khan in 4, No in 5, Ali 6, Massey 7, and Waddington in 8. And it's close. I think in lane 5 looks to have the measure at this stage as they're popping along. Nicely done. Lane 5, Anthony No. He did a 32.56 this morning and down to a 31.83. That's very good swimming. He'd be really thrilled that he actually came home the stronger from the morning swim.
The next event for decision, event 115, the women's 50 metre breaststroke A final. Swimming in lane 1 from Riverside Aquatic, Georgia Davis. In lane 2 from Nunawading, Rydell Smith. In lane 3 from Nunawading, Anna Lee. In lane 4 from Hobart Aquatic, Emma Newell. In lane 5 from Hobart Aquatic, Stephanie McCarthy. In lane 6 from Riverside Aquatic, Emily Lonergan. In lane 7 from Sandy Bay, Matilda Smith. And in lane 8 from Hobart Aquatic, Ella May. The final, the A final of 115.
So the boys have done their best work, and it's to the young ladies in the open 50 metre breaststroke. Our favourite would be the 22-year-old Emma Newell in lane 4. And she set the time this morning with a 33.93, just ahead of Stephanie McCarthy with a 34.07. As we look across the pool, it is between those two lanes, McCarthy and Newell. Newell at the bottom of the screen, and have a look at the top there. I think it's very, very close. It might be 5. McCarthy has it at the moment from Newell. Can't quite tell, but we're going to go and have a look right at the end. Now we've got a better view. Just getting close. I couldn't pick that. I couldn't pick that. And it is. McCarthy in 5 has gone down to a 33.73. So close to Emma Newell with a 33.74.75, and all it took was that push on the downstroke in these events. Absolutely amazing stuff. 32.98 still reigns supreme with Sarah Milton.
The Tasmanian gold medalist and Tasmanian champion in a new record time for a 12-year-old of 2 minutes 31.72 seconds, representing Launceston Aquatic, Emily Mitchell. Congratulations on that record, Emily. Well done. This is the B final for event 115.
So the girls getting ready for the B final in the 50-metre breaststroke. Total concentration. Getting away nicely, as is always the case. You're going to look between 4 and 5. Traditionally, down here in lane 2 was Maya Donnelly doing a really good job, but it is lane 5 again, Imogen Worthy from Misha Wezabowski. So it's a race in 2, but I think it's Worthy who has the ascendancy, but a comeback by Wezabowski. It's getting to be close again on the ups and the down at the finish, but lane 5 has got it. 5, 4 and 6. That's Webowski. Second, it's Worthy, Webowski and Evans third. So again, Nutter Wadding gets another victor. Terrific racing from these young ladies here in the B final of the Open breaststroke 50 metre.
The next event for decision is event 116, the men's 6:30 200 metre freestyle multi-class final. Swimming in lane 4 from Triton's, Matthew Hatnavel. No. Swimming in lane 5 from South Esk, Jonathan Clark. The final of event 116.
So just taking a moment, young Jonathan Clark, the S9 classification swimmer from the South Esk Swimming Club. He's away. And I tell you what, this young fella does a fantastic job. He's had a number of races where he's had to go out on his own, and that is very, very tough in a racing situation, knowing that you're against the clock. And he is a very fine athlete. I loved the smile on his face when he got out of the pool last night. He did the breaststroke. He does all the strokes, this young fella, as we can see him now coming down for that first 50. He's got a really nice stroke, very smooth. You can see now swimming over his left shoulder. Very, very long pull, stretches up, as you can see there, and then pulls down along the lane. Breathing very nicely. Pretty quick beat kick at this stage. And of course he'll probably increase that in the back part of the race. Swimming very nicely, and this is a time final, so he'll be looking to see how he goes in his previous best, which was a 2:45.75 as he's turned now. 1:20.79 so far, and it's great to see a bit of enthusiasm from the crowd. They know he's out there and doing his best, and it is the third of 4 laps. Very focused competitor. You can see on his face before he was transfixed against the wall, and he comes in now. This is the coming down for his last turn. Really long stretch and right down the length of his body, and he's increased that kick slightly. You can see the flags as he's getting ready for a turn. Very smooth, very graceful swimmer is Jonathan Clark. Works very hard, I understand, at that South-Est Swimming Club. Made the journey down. I've called his name in many an event so far over the long weekend, and he's been tremendous. Now the crowd's warming, as certainly Jonathan Clark is warming to his work as well. 2:28.29, it's clicking down. You can see now that kick has increased. It's going to be close to his previous swim. Really working hard is Jonathan Clark. Pushing into the line now, 2:44, 2:45.58 and 2:45.75, and he has gone under that slightly. So brilliant work there by Jonathan Clark in the 200 metres S9.
The winner of the gold medal in a time of 2 minutes 10.44 seconds, representing Loretto Aquatic, Dominic Hart. The Tasmanian gold medalist and Tasmanian champion in a time of 2 minutes 13.15 seconds, representing Hobart Aquatic, Kate Denham. The next event for decision is event 118. The boys 14 to 15 years 100 metre backstroke finals. Introducing the A finalists swimming in lane 1 from Launceston Aquatic, William Gray. In lane 2 from Riverside Aquatic, Jordan Retsimo. In lane 3 from Riverside Aquatic, Zane Hadley. Swimming in lane 4 from Melbourne H2O, Noah Millard. In lane 5 from Nunawading, Nathan Tran. In lane 6 from HC Swim Club, Maxwell Powell. In lane 7 from Burnie, Alec Mollison. And in lane 8 from Hobart Aquatic, Jack Luttrell. This is the A final of event 118.
We'll expect some pretty fast swimming from these young guys. There already has been this morning a record. It was Nathan Tran swimming out of the Nunawading Swimming Club with 1:04.27. The previous best was 1:05.10. The fastest competitor was lane 4, Noah Millard, who is one of our visitors from the Melbourne H2O Swimming Club, and he has really shot out of the blocks, as we can see here in lane 4. So lane 4, it is Noah Millard from Nathan Tran, and back to lane 3, Zane Hadley, as they come into the wall, and that's how they've gone across now. Back up into lane 6, Maxwell Powell as our last competitor there. It was pretty close between William Gray and Jack Luttrell. Also doing a great job is Alec Mollison and Jordan Wright-Seamer. Back to the race now, and we can have a look at Noah Millard has really cleared out now. He is a very, very fine swimmer. Pushing on hard. Up in lane 5, second is Nathan Tran, but it is all Noah Millard as he touches, and he came up with 1.75, and that again is better than his morning swim, which is a 1:01.16. So terrific swimming by Noah Millard, Nathan Tran, and Maxwell Powell. Now we're seeing coming to the blocks in the next race. This is the B final in the same event. This is the 100 metres backstroke for 14 and 15.
Area. Jack Evans, William Bonney, Bradley Patterson and Michael Bolt.
So we'll take it up here in the 100 metres in the B final. Jaden Gillies in lane 1, Nicholas Wu in lane 2, Jaden Lang in lane 3, Zach Dendel in lane 4, Anthony No in lane 5, Aidan Butler in 6, and in lane 7, Alexander Alley, and in lane 8, Blair Shaddock. As we go back to the race, it is between those two fastest competitors. That was Dendell and No. It is Lang at the moment, trying to work hard, but it's Dendell in 4. It's Dendell. He has got the lead at this stage. Zach Dendell from Anthony No up in lane 5. Further back then in lane 6, Aidan Butler and Jaden Lang in lane 3 as they came into the final stretch. And we can see there it was between lanes 4 and 5 back to lane 3. So Jaden Lang, but it is Zach Dendell and Anthony No with some very, very good swimming there in our B final for the backstroke.
The next event for decision is event 119 in your program. The girls 14 to 15 years 100 metre backstroke final. Introducing the A finalists swimming in lane 1 from Hobart Aquatic, Lauren Todorovich. In lane 2 from Hobart Aquatic, Molly Bailey. In lane 3 from HC Swim Club, Rebecca McDonald. In lane 4 from Nunawading, Merrin Harris. In lane 5 for Melbourne H2O, Jade Korsman. In lane 6 from HC Swim Club, Rose Castle. In lane 7 from Launceston Aquatic, Mackenzie French. In lane 8 from Launceston Aquatic, Amy Muldoon. This is the A final of event 119.
So we have some more backstroke now with our girls, 14 to 15. It is the 100 metre sprint final, girls 14 and 15. And away. Of course, our favourites will be lane 4, Merrin Harris and Jade Korsman. Harris, the swimmer from the Nunawading Club with a 108.07. And Korsman from the Melbourne H2O Swimming Club with a 109.31, closely followed by Rose Castle with a 109.60 and Rebecca McDonald with a 109.45 in qualification. As they go hard into the wall, it is Merrin Harris and Rebecca McDonald very, very closely, but what a great turn by the favourite, Merrin Harris, as she went round and is really stroking nicely now, kicking a little bit harder, and has increased her lead to an absolute full body length. Tell you what, for second and third is going to be an interesting race. That's between lanes 3, 5 and 6, Castle, McDonald and Bailey. And now it's close. There is our winner touching, and at the top of the screen I think it might have been lane 6, and that was Rose Castle from Jade Korsman. As we've just have a look at that results, and there it was, Harris in a 107.25, followed by Korsman 109.23. So terrific racing there in the A final for the girls, 14 to 15. Our record holder in that one is Shani Burley, who did a 105.10 back in 07. So we're now awaiting the entry to the water for the girls in the B final. Judges just conferring. They're happy with what's gone on. Very nervous wait for any of the athletes when they don't hear that whistle nice and quickly. They'll be a little bit nervous, but waiting now. There is our whistle. It's all clear. So the girls in the B division final will enter the water in just a few moments. There it is, Korsman, Castle, Bailey, French. Todovic, Muldoon, McDonald and Harris.
Final of event 119.
Hard whistles by the officials. See some of the pensive faces of the coaches as they go with the stopwatches. Arching body, pushes hard, and as expected, it's lanes 4 and 5 that come up first. That'll be Jane Fenton and Gemma Jones. So in 1, Erin Giles. In lane 2, Tessa Yu. In lane 3, Amber French. Lane 4, Jane Fenton. Lane 5, Gemma Jones. Lane 6, Taylor Rain. Lane 7, Sienna Parser. And in lane 8, Liani Stephenson. So back to the race, and it is a race in 2 between Fenton and Jones. Fenton at the bottom of our screen there. Top in the white cap is Jones. They are battling stroke for stroke now, urging each other, and they are stroke for stroke across the pool. Oh, you couldn't pick it. It's almost the top of the form. I think Jones from Fenton, very, very close now as we'll go to that side on. It's 4 is Fenton, then Jones. It's at the top, Fenton, and they just go for the line. It's Jones has got Fenton, I think, on a touch. As we just check, it was Jones from Fenton. Brilliant racing. Amber French comes up in that 3rd position. Very, very tight racing indeed. See there on replay, it just pushed in and stretched out. Excellent finish, and it's not only the stroke that you'd be practicing, ladies and gentlemen, it's those little things like the finishes that mean so much.
In lane 2 from HC Swim Club, Harrison Grant. In lane 3 from Nunawading, Riley Collins. In lane 4 from Nunawading, Sam Wilgoose. In lane 5 from Nunawading, Ronan Keating. In lane 6 from Riverside Aquatic, Marcus Darko. In lane 7 from Hobart Aquatic, Ahmed Awad. And in lane 8 from Hobart Aquatic, Joshua May. This is the final of event 120.
I tell you what, these guys must be fit, but they are also, I would suggest, would be refueling with some great food. And of course, we are very, very fortunate that our key partner is Cripps, the master baker, baking bread here in Tasmania, ladies and gentlemen, since 1878, and they have supplied some magnificent food. I know I'm a big fan of the rye bread. I'm a Williams man. I go to boutique bread, and my very dear friend Paul Godomsky, the CEO, he knows that, and I get that supplied down at my place at Cremorne. The truck turns up early on a Monday with my supplies, and I thank you, Paul, for that. So back to the race here, and we've got a cracker. It's the boys 16 to 18 backstroke, and in lane 4, Sammy Wilgoose with a 2:12.04 this morning has really accelerated out of the blocks. I thought it might have been a little bit tighter than this with Ronan Keating in 5, but as Sammy Wilgoose is being urged on by the crowd, he's tight to the line. He is really going out hard. And of course, Bo Mannix in the 200 metres with a 2:06.20 back in 99. He'll be hard to catch because he is one of your premier racers, especially in this particular discipline. As they're coming down now for the second of their 4 laps. Went really hard. It'll be interesting to see if young Sammy Wilgoose can maintain that form for that length of time. That was a very fast first 100 as he went round, and it's Ronan Keating in the second spot, and he's being chased hard by Riley Collins down at the bottom of screen in lane 3. Back up to lane 6 with Marcus Darko and Ahmed Awad, and then followed by Harrison Grant, Liam Roll and Josh May. as we can see the extended view there as they turn, going round in a comfortable lead to Sam Wilgoose, and he is out on his own and coming down to this last one. His ears would be pricked as he would listen to the crowd urging him on, trying to get every ounce of energy out of this somewhat well-proportioned frame, as they all are, these swimmers. They train very, very hard. Absolute amazing dedication to their craft, as Sam Wilgoose coming down now towards that finish, and he pushes in hard and touches to get the victory with a 2:10.50. And that's a great swim, 2:10.50 inside his 2:12.04. He'd be absolutely thrilled at that particular one, as the coaches, you can see up there, back up into lane 8. I think that might be Josh May finishing. Well done by Josh. Just lost a little bit of form towards the end, and why wouldn't you? That is a long race. Brilliant swimming by these men in the 16 to 18 200 metre backstroke. Absolute party atmosphere here on the last night of racing. It is your Monday long weekend at the Doone Kennedy Aquatic Centre. It is the 2018 Cripps the Master Baker Long Course Championships.
Your program. The girls 16 to 18 years 200 metre backstroke final. Swimming in lane 1 from HC Swim Club, Emma Condi. In lane 2 from Ringwood Swim Club, Chance Mathers. In lane 3 from Haileybury Aquatic, Joanna Nuno. In lane 4 from Nunawading, Ella Donoghue. In lane 5 from Nunawading, Tegan Coxall. In lane 6 from Loreto Aquatic, Dominic Hart. In lane 7 from Nunawading, Emma Alamand. In lane 8 from Warrnambool, Emily Bartlett. This is the final of event 121.
So we are cruising along, ladies and gentlemen, in an action-packed final evening of the 2018 Cripps the Master Baker Long Course Championships here at the Doone Kennedy Aquatic Swim Centre on the Queen's Domain here in the beautiful, beautiful Hobart. And we have got some great vistas from the Ariana Titmus commentary position as we go across. You've got the mountain there and you look down. I just spy out my window and you can see the Derwent River. Absolutely beautiful port. Even last night the cruise ships were in and there was a flotilla of tourists, and some of them came by to watch some of the premier swimmers in Australia go about their work and show their craft as the girls are working into this race. It is the girls 16 to 18 200 metre backstroke event, and the crowd is really urging them on in lanes 3, 4 and 5. It is Tanya Anal doing very, very nicely in lane 3. Ella Donoghue in 4 and Tegan Coxall in 5. Now, if just to give you a bit of perspective on the lanes as we go up the middle of the pool, those delineated with those yellow markers, at the bottom one, that is your lane 4, and the top is lane 5. So you can work your way out from there. So you can see there, lane 4, just a shade in front of lane 5, back to lane 3, and that is Donoghue and Coxall back to Unal in lane 3, and they are swimming very comfortably now. As that particular angle you can see better, they are really clearing out those first two girls, and that is Donoghue and Coxall. And the crowd is starting to warm up now because they know that this is going to be a race right down to the wire as they turn and head back. Terrific racing here by these girls. Lane 4 at the bottom of the screen is Ella Donoghue, followed by Tegan Coxall at the top, and they are stroke for stroke. It is now Donoghue trying to get the ascendancy from Coxall. Stroke, and she has now. Has she broken her? She is really starting to put some big stretches in as she's extending that lead. Is Ella Donoghue in lane 4. Beautiful swim. She timed it to perfection. She didn't panic. Glides in from Coxhill, and down into lane 3 was Tuana Unal, and back up there to Dominic Hart, Emma Allard, Emily Bartlett, Chance Mathers and Emma Condi. And there is Emily Bartlett just touching the wall. So very, very fine swimming in the girls' 16 to 18 200-metre backstroke.
1-2-2. The boys 11 years and under 200-metre individual medley final. Swimming in lane 1 from Hobart Aquatic, Lachlan Clues. In lane 2 from Hobart Aquatic, Daniel Wiley. In lane 3 from HC Swim Club, Daniel Shilcock. In lane 4 from S Dolphins, Isaac Brennan. In lane 5 from HC Swim Club, Ethan Jones. In lane 6 from Ballarat Gold, Giles Peters. In lane 7 from HC Swim Club, Samuel Castle. And in lane 8 from Hobart Aquatic, Archer Lane. This is the final of event 1-2-2.
So we now go back to the younger men, the 11 and under. And it's interesting to see Lachlan Clunes in lane 1 as the record holder for this particular event is indeed James Clues. And he clocked a 2:36.10 back in December 16, as they are now working their way down in the first of the 4 disciplines, and that is the butterfly. Excellent form in lane 4 by Isaac Brennan. He has really cleared out to Ethan Jones and Daniel Shilcott as those 3 young men turn and push hard as they go into their second discipline, which of course is the backstroke, which will then turn into the breaststroke and finally bring it home with the freestyle. And as we always say in these particular events, depending on your preferred discipline, the races can really start to tighten up, but we know the proficiency of Isaac Brennan from the Essendon Dolphins Swimming Club. He's come down and he's eyed this medal off, although have a look down here in lane 3. That's Daniel Shilcott, done a great job to catch up, and we'll see if he can maintain that form as they turn and head into the breaststroke now. We saw in the earlier performance in the earlier races that 2:44.93 by Isaac Brennan was a really nice swim. Ethan Jones finished off hard with a 2:49.19, and in lane 3 Daniel Shilcock with a 2:52.01. I'm interested to see if he can maintain that form to catch them up. And you can see here that breaststroke is one of the preferred ones by Isaac Brennan, and he has stretched out his lead. And falling back slightly was Daniel Shilcock, who very much enjoyed that backstroke. And lane 5 has made up some ground in Ethan Jones, and expect him to come home pretty hard as well in the next event. They turn now, last discipline, and it appears to be all Isaac Brennan. He's going to work hard to bring this one home. He's just decided to go the single, and he's just going the bilateral there, just having a look, and he's pretty confident that he can go home, and he's really got that quick beat kick now. He's really cleared out to a comfortable lead in lane 4, Isaac Brennan. Further up there is Ethan Jones in lane 5, down to Daniel Shilcock in 3. Close in lane 6 between Giles Peters and Daniel Wiley in 2. So there is our winner, Isaac Brennan, followed by Ethan Jones, and back down to Daniel Shilcott as they tap the wall hard. Really good form. We're just waiting now for Lachlan Clunes back down in lane 1, and he's bringing it home. You can see really kicking hard and motoring along. Of course, young Lachlan is a 10-year-old up against the older competitors, and that year, I can tell you, makes a big, big difference. So well done to all our competitors in the 11 and under 200 individual medley.
The next event for decision is event 1, 2, 3. The girls 11 years and under 200 metre individual medley finals. Swimming in lane 1 from Launceston Aquatic, Molly Gray. In lane 2 from Burnie Amateurs, Maria Kerwin. In lane 3 from Hobart Aquatic, Ella Chan. In lane 4 from Doncaster Templestowe, Ava Kernich. In lane 5 from EC Waves, Amelie Vulic. In lane 6 from South Esk, Rebecca Clark. In lane 7 from Sandy Bay, Bonnie Smith. In lane 8 from Sandy Bay, Sophie Kerwin. This is the final of event 1, 2, 3.
So as is always the case, the boys lead them out and the girls bring them home in the same discipline. They are away to an even start underneath, and not a great start there by Ava Kernick in lane 4, left behind slightly by lanes 5, which was Amelia Vulic and Ella Chan, and they'd be really happy with that start, especially Amelia Vulic. As you can see at top of screen and now bottom of screen, Ella Chan going very, very nicely. Coming down to that first change, really high in the water here in lane 3 was Ella Chan as she touches and pushes off hard. She'd love to maintain this form. And this is a very, very handy break. She'll be certainly building some belief that she can take these girls on. As we can see now, not making any ground at the moment is Ava Kernick in lane 4, and is Amelia Vulic and Ella Chan in lanes 3 and 5. Then back to lane 4, Ava Kernick, and then we see up into lane 6, Rebecca Clark. Further back then to Marina Kerwin, Bonnie Smith, Sophie Kerwin, and Molly Gray doing a great job as they turn. Now going to the breaststroke and still maintaining that comfortable lead, but this is where they'll be hoping to catch her up, and you can see lane 4. She loves the breaststroke, and this is where she comes hard, and she can, every single stroke, she's working her way back into this race. And as we said before, you can't win it in those early stages. And now have a look at her powering into her work into the breaststroke. Of course, we knew that this was a favourite one, but wow, it's like she's got an outboard motor on. Going down in lane 4 is Ava Kernick, doing a great performance, and we know now that she'll turn and work her way away from the other young ladies in Amelia Vulic and Ella Chan. Excellent breaststroke leg, and didn't she reign supreme in that one, as now Ava Kernick is really putting her foot down, moving away from Amelia Vulic and Ella Chan. And she knew what she was up to. She was very comfortable in those first couple of disciplines because the back end of her race, that is the breaststroke and the freestyle, has been absolutely from the top shelf. And she comes in and touches for a 2:43.64 in front of Amelia Vulic. And that goes back down to Ella Chan and Rebecca Clark. Working her way forward now is Maria Kerwin. And back up there to lanes 7 and 8, Bonnie Smith and Sophie Kerwin. As now the girls touch, and good swimming, and Paula Hill's record at 2:40.40 is still intact, but nevertheless some fine swimming by these young ladies in the girls 11 and under 200 metres individual medley.
200 metre butterfly final. Swimming in lane 3 from Ringwood and Callum Harley. In lane 4 from Burnie, Nicholas Platts. In lane 5 from Surrey Park, Hamish Langford. This is the final of event 1, 2, 4.
as the young ladies depart the pool. We are now up to the 200-metre men's butterfly. You can see the concentration on their faces. They're away. Only 3 competitors to keep your eye on. And of course the record holder of this race with a 1:56.90 is the Olympian Scott Goodman, who way back on the 13th of March in 97 did a 1:56.90. And that was absolutely some fantastic swimming. As we can see now, it is Nicholas Plass, who did the 2:19.41 this morning. In lane 5, Hamish Langford did a 2:19.98. And lane 3, Callum Harley with a 2:34.05. And doing a great job in lane 3 was Callum Harley. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, he's going very nicely. You can see lane 5 not making any inroads at this stage was Hamish Langford. We thought this one might have been a little bit closer, but it is in lane 4. Nicholas Plass really doing a good job now in the 3rd of the 4, working pretty hard. As you can see there, extending the lead, going very nicely now is Nicholas Plass from Callum Harley. Nicholas Plass representing the Burnie Amateur Swimming Club. Callum Harley in lane 3 from the Ringwood Swimming Club. And Hamish Langford, the Surrey Park Swimming Club. Now a variety of different ages as well, as Nicholas Plass is an 18-year-old, Callum Harley 18, and young Hamish Langford in lane 5 is a 15-year-old. So doing a great job. So a bit of disparity in that age, but that's the openness of these young men. So now we can see, coming down towards the line, is Nicholas Plass from the Burnie Amateur Swimming Club, doing a fantastic job in that traditional black and gold cap. Pushing hard now, can see the wall, concentration, got to keep his form. Going to go up and touch on the wall. Now the 2:20.02, and that's just outside his heat swim, but a very, very nice swim nevertheless. Pretty happy as they look across at each other. And there is our winner, Nicholas Plass. The whistle has gone as our competitors will depart the pool in readiness for the next event.
The butterfly. Swimming in lane 3 from Sandy Bay, Jardine Ralph. In lane 4 from Nunawading, Lily Hall. And in lane 5 from Ringwood, Taylor Theodore. The final of event 125.
Here is our final of the girls' 200-metre butterfly. They're away in the middle of screen. In lane 4 is Lily Hall, the 16-year-old from Nunawading Swimming Club. At bottom of the screen, in lane 3, Jardine Ralph, the 19-year-old from Sandy Bay Swimming Club. And in lane 5, Taylor Theodore, the 14-year-old from the Ringwood Swimming Club. And the times to qualification was Lily Hall was a 2:29.65. Taylor Theodore was a 2:33.84 and Jardine Ralph a 2:43.22. As they have turned and coming back, you can still see it's a reasonably even race. 3 competitors across the pool. Just to clarify, at the bottom of the screen is your lane 3 competitor, Jardine Ralph from Sandy Bay, back to the middle, and our leader is Lily Hall from Nuttawading. And top of screen, the 14-year-old Taylor Theodore. The record to beat is a 2:12.40. That was set on the 25th of March in 2001 by Nicole Hunter, and she holds the 50, 100 and 200 records. So a very, very fine swimmer. And talking of fine swimmers, we can see Lily Hall now has absolutely stretched her lead, and she's going really hard, the 16-year-old from Nuttawading, pushing out to a comfortable lead here at the 2018 Cripps, the Master Baker Long Course Championships at the Doone Kennedy Aquatic Centre. And again, a very, very warm thank you to our major partner, Cripps, the Master Baker, a fine Tasmanian corporate partner with many businesses and many sporting events in Tasmania. And Tasmanian swimming thanks Cripps very, very much. And I'll tell you what, if you're thinking a bit peckish, get down to your local supermarket and make sure you ask for Cripps bread, because it is fantastic. As now we're watching Lily Hall really working her way hard in front of Jaden Ralph and Taylor Theodore. Now it is Lily Hall coming up to her final touch. She's going to do one more stroke and she glides in nicely. It is Taylor Theodore, I think, in lane 5, who will then touch out Jaden Ralph. And isn't there great support for these young ladies? As we can see, they have used every bit of petrol available to them. Left nothing at all in the tank. And great swimming there by the girls. As there was our finals as we go to our next event.
Event 126, the final of the boys 16 to 18 years, 100 metre breaststroke. Introducing the finalists. Swimming in lane 1 from Hobart Aquatic, Ahmed Awad. In lane 2 from South Esk, Jonty Pretorius. In lane 3 from Riverside Aquatic, William Bonney. In lane 4 from Nunawading, Morgan Dendel. In lane 5 from Nunawading, Asaf Hoy. In lane 6 from Riverside, Jordan Cooper. In lane 7 from Hobart Aquatic, Oscar Bresnahan. And in lane 8 from Hobart Aquatic, Clancy van der Kellen. This is the final of event 126.
Swimmers up. Concentration. Bring down your lane. Starters away. Closest to screen. Arwad. Lane 2. Pretorius. 3. Bonnie. Lane 4. Dendel. Lane 5. Hoy. 6. Cooper. 7. Bresnahan. And 8. Van der Kellen. As we go up into those middle lanes, it is Dendel and Hoy, stroke for stroke, really pushing each other along. The record for the 18-year-old is Carl Werzer at 1:05.20, and Dendel did this morning a 1:06.75, but of course he is a 17-year-old competitor, and it is a 1:06.97. So of course, as the 17-year-old, he broke that record this morning. And he is really going out hard, as we can see. Working beautifully is Morgan Dendel. Up and down he goes, close for second between lanes 5. That is Hoy, and back to Bonnie. But it is all Dendel here in the final. Dendel from Hoy and back to William Bonnie. as some of these other swimmers are coming in, and our final competitor, Clancy van der Kellen, just touching the wall. So very, very fine swimming, and that's a name to look out for. Morgan Dendel from the Nuttawading Swimming Club as a 17-year-old. He's done a very fine time, in fact a record for that age group, so look out for him next year when he turns 18.
The girls 16 to 18 years, 100 metre breaststroke final. Swimming in lane 1 from HC Swim Club, Kathleen Kubak. In lane 2 from Riverside Aquatic, Georgia Davis. In lane 3 from Nunawading, Tegan Coxell. In lane 4 from Nunawading, Taya Odell. In lane 5 from Newmarket Races, Laura Mead. In lane 6 from Riverside Aquatic, Emily Lonigan. In lane 7 from Hobart Aquatic, Kate Denham. And in lane 8 from Launceston Aquatic, Dawson Howell. This is the final of event 127.
Now the final of the girls 16 to 18 breaststroke. Varying ages again, 16, 17 and 18. And in the 100 breaststroke, it's a 1:11.30 by Emma Newell. So I reckon that one might be safe, but these girls have been swimming very, very tightly. It was Odell, in lane 4 with a 1:16.70, our fastest competitor, and she'll probably at the turn come back very, very hard. You can see now a touch, and pushing off very, very nicely is Taya Odell in lane 4. Lane 5 came up second, Laura Mead. Tegan Coxell down in 3, working hard, closely followed in 2 by Georgia Davis, and then back up to Lonigan in 6, Denham 7, Howell 8, and Kubak in 1. But we'll go and concentrate onto our race leader at the moment. That is Taya Odell, really pushing hard from the Nuttawading Swimming Club. Coming down to the wall, she has this race with a commanding lead. She's touched in, back up to, I think that might have almost been lane 6. Lonigan and Mead touching very, very close as she looks back at the wall. That all-important 1:16.21. And she has eclipsed her time this morning, which was a 1:16.70. So times are all important for these young girls as they look back at the clock. Nevertheless, a well-earned gold medal to the Nuttawading Swimming Club competitor.
The boys 12 to 13 years, 100 metre butterfly finals. Introducing the A finalists. In lane 1 from HC Swim Club, Kai Doreen. In lane 2 from Hobart Aquatic, James Clues. In lane 3 from South Esk, Hugh Dole. In lane 4 from Nunawading, Evan Chee. In lane 5 from Surrey Park, Lewis Clark. In lane 6 from Hobart Aquatic, Noah Camprad. In lane 7 from South Esk, Harry Reid. And in lane 8 from Launceston Aquatic, Wiley Howell. This is the A final of event 128.
Swimmers up on their blocks. They're set. They're away. And these swimmers will be chasing the very, very long-standing record, which was set way back in 1992, 1:02.90 by Burl Reid. And that was a very swift time back then. And so we're going to be interesting to see how they go. It was Evan Chee in lane 4. Have a look at him go. He is really after this record. He did a 1:03.19 this morning, and he has powered down that first 50. So I'll be really fascinated to see if he can keep that tempo going. Lewis Clark is really pushing him hard in lane 5. Then in lane 6, Noah Camprad and Hugh Dole in lane 3. bringing up and fighting it out for those minor positions, but it is Evan Chi who has lifted his rating now. He's high up. He's really going hard towards the wall. He goes in and under, pushing it. Nice big stroke, pulling hard. Can he get that down stroke? Here he goes, coming close to the wall, 102.71. I think he might have got the record, which has been held since 1992, so he will be absolutely thrilled. Cock a hoot to get that one. Well done, young man. Brilliant swimming by him, and you can see him stretching back. Let's make sure we've got that right. 102.71. Excellent work. Well, I think that that young man, Yuan Chi, can thank Lewis Clark for pushing him along, and that really got the motor burn working. So congratulations, as we'll now cross to the B final. Swimmers just waiting. So we're going to wait till those swimmers move away so that the B competitors can get a good clean start at it.
Webster, please report to marshalling straight away. Thank you.
Competitors ready to go in the B final for the boys, 12 to 13. And what about the swim in the last race? Evan Chi, a 102.71. So these boys are up and at 'em in the B final. In lane 1, Lockie Hutton. In lane 2, Jai Mollison. In 3, Tak Heo. In 4, Yanning Zhang. In lane 5, Nicholas Kondakis. In lane 6, Joshua Gronwald. In lane 7, Liam Duffy. And 8, Xavier Nesbitt, as they have turned and heading back to the wall. And it's to the middle of the pool in lane 4, Yanning Zhang. And all of these guys have had such a full program of events, and they will really sleep well this evening after they refuel with Cripps the Master Bake sandwiches. But it is lane 4 now, Yanning Zhang clearing out, fighting hard and not giving up is Nicholas Kondakis. As we go to the wall, gee whiz, I tell you what, young Nicholas Kondakis did a great job to push hard at the end there. It'll be interesting to see the time difference. I reckon it's only going to be hundredths of a second, as the other competitors are really coming hard. Let's have a look here. It is Zhang in 105.01 to Kondakis a 105.34. So very, very competitive swimming by these boys in the B final of the 100-metre butterfly.
Event 129 in your program. The A and B finals of the girls 12 to 13 years 100-metre butterfly. Introducing the A finalists. Swimming in lane 1 from Launceston Aquatic, Grace Campbell. In lane 2 from Hobart Aquatic, Aurora Giuliani. In lane 3 from Launceston Aquatic, Emily Mitchell. In lane 4 from Nunawading, Abby Harrington. In lane 5 from Nunawading, Andrea Chow. In lane 6 from Sandy Bay, Matilda Smith. In lane 7 from Launceston Aquatic, Jazz Irani. And in lane 8 from HC Swim Club, Sophia McDonald. It's the final of event 129, the A final.
So now the A finalists for the girls 100-metre butterfly. 12-13 away very, very smoothly. Abby Harrington, our fastest qualifier, with a 108.03 from Andrea Chow with a 109.34. So I'd expect those two girls, who are clearly better times than the other young ladies in this event, so we'll expect them to go toe-to-toe, and taking it out hard, taking the race too, is Andrea Chow. She pushes, goes off, and heads back for her second of her four laps. But you'd expect just in lane 4, Abby Harrington. She knows her strength, and it's certainly in the back 100 of the 200-metre event where she shows some supremacy. Her negative splits are world-renowned. As we are going towards that line, the wall to take the turn. It's the third lap. Sorry, I apologise. The second lap of 4. They touch. Oh, sorry. Gee whiz, I've had too many races here. My humble apologies. It was the 100 metres, and that was a crackerjack. It was lane 5. Chow from Harrington. I better get a sip of water and get myself concentration and have a look at this. The Nutter Wadding, they are really urging their swimmers along. And again, apologies there for that last race. It was Andrea Chow who took it out so hard, and she has flown home with the victory. So congratulations to her from Abby Harrington in lane 4.
The 129.
So now, as I take a breath, it's the girls 12 to 13 in the 100-metre butterfly. My apologies for that last one. I had the incorrect information just in front of me, but now I am furnished with the right one, and it is the B final of the 100-metre butterfly for girls 12 and 13. And here we have in lane 1, Isabel Stephen. In lane 2, Grace Leslie, as we work our way from bottom of screen to top. Lane 3, Jess Homan. In lane 4, Giri Putu. In lane 5, Nicole Briscoe. In lane 6, Millie McGregor. In lane 7, Genevieve Scrymore. Lane 8, Isabel Gann Payne. So now it is the two competitors working hard. You can see here at bottom of screen in lane 4, really going hard in the fly. That is Guri Putu. Coming down towards that 100 metres. She will now touch. Oh, almost had to take a second stroke, but it didn't hurt as Nicole Briscoe came in lane 5 for a silver medal. And in lane 3, it is Jess Homan touching the wall. Back to lane 6, Millie McGregor. And now it is in lane 2, Grace Leslie. Back down to lane 1, Isabel Stephen. And there is our finals. Giri Poo Giri is our winner with a 109.27.
And Tasmanian champion in a time of 1 minute 06.33 seconds, representing Hobart Aquatic, Noah Camprad. Event 130 in your program. The finals of the boys 14 to 15 years, 100 metre freestyle. Introducing the A finalists, swimming in lane 1 from HC Swim Club, Samuel Askey-Doran. In lane 2 from Burnie, Alec Mollison. In lane 3 from Nunawading, Nicholas Wu. Lane 4 from Melbourne H2O, Noel Millard. In lane 5 from Hobart Aquatic, Maximilian Giuliani. In lane 6 from Riverside Aquatic, Zane Hadley. In lane 7 from Burnie Amateur Swim Club, Isaac Mully. And in lane 8 from Launceston Aquatic, William Gray. This is the A final of event 130.
You can see these young fellows are very, very fit competitors, just psyching themselves up in readiness for the sprint, the 100 metre. It's a dash of 2 laps. Really got to try and work hard to hold your form. And I know one man who's been one of the raiders into Tasmania, Noah Millard, he'd better be careful because he'll be charged a bit of extra luggage weight. He's won a few medals already. As they go, slow start there in lane 2 to young Mollison, but it's back in the centre of the pool that we're watching, lanes 3, 4 and 5. That is from the bottom of the screen, Wu, Millard and Giuliani. We are now concentrating, and of course we'd expect Millard to really turn hard. That's where we've watched him in the previous races. Have a look at this turn. He goes round and see how he comes up. He's a very, very proficient turner, but down at the bottom of the screen, trying to hang tough in lane 3 is Nicholas Wu, but it is Noah Millard at the moment with Giuliani in lane 5. So Millard, Wu, Giuliani going hard. It is in the middle. Millard swimming very nicely. He's looking to his left and then looking over to his right. He's got on his left Giuliani and on his right Wu. It just comes down to the pool. He has gone in hard and tough and in lane 3 second. So it is Millard from Wu to Giuliani in one of the premier events, the 100 metre sprint for boys 14 to 15. Very, very nice swing with a 54.27, which goes under his 54.59 in the heats as well. So had the very, very happy with that with young Noah Millard from the Melbourne H2O Swimming Club. And now in readiness for the B final for the boys 14 to 15, 100 metre freestyle. A full list of 8 swimmers right across the pool. Starters holding them. Ready to go. Away safely from bottom of screen, lane 1. Well, that's interesting. Lane 1's decided to do the breaststroke. But that's okay. That's Maxi Powell. Lane 2, Mitchell Edmonds. Lane 3, Sachs Wright. Lane 4, Riley Mitchell. Lane 5, Ernest Chow. Lane 6, Jack Luttrell. Lane 7, Jordan Reismer. And in lane 8, Jacob Lamkin. And really clearing out in this race is Riley Mitchell in lane 4, followed by 5, Ernest Chow. And it's a race in 2, but my money at this stage is in Riley Mitchell. He's swimming very nicely. All coming home hard is Ernest Chow, making a big race of it. He's looking one way, then the other. Further back up to 6 in Luttrell, back to right. But in the middle of the pool, going to touch first is lane 4, Chow, Mitchell from Chow. Back to right, Luttrell and Reismer. And a very nice swim indeed in the boys B final for the 14 to 15 division. Just working our way towards the end of the events. Closing down now as we have now the girls 14 to 15, 100 metres.
Nunawading, Andrea Chow, the Tasmanian gold medalist and Tasmanian champion in a time of 1 minute 11.33 seconds, representing Hobart Aquatic, Aurora Giuliani. We note there's a lot of swimmers on the pool deck. When you stop clapping, kiddies. All those swimmers standing on the pool deck, could you please move back from the edge of the pool? Thank you. That means everyone.
Oh, well, these kiddies are excited. They're up and about. It's nearly the last event. They're cockahooting. They're urging their other teammates to get on. I reckon they should just sort of lap some of these things and let them get down in the water. I'd like get in the water with them and urge them on, splash them on. That would make an interesting event. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, They're excited. We're excited. I hope you're enjoying the 2018 Cripps the Master Baker Long Course Swimming Championships here at the Doone Kennedy Aquatic Centre in beautiful downtown Hobart.
Is 100 metre freestyle. Introducing the A finalists. Swimming in lane 1 from Launceston Aquatic, Jade Nichols. In lane 2 from Hobart Aquatic, Sophie Botterill James. In lane 3 from Harleyberry Aquatic, Ellie Castricum McDuff. In lane 4 from Hobart Aquatic, Stephanie McCarthy. In lane 5 from MLC Aquatic, Domi Maloney. In lane 6 from Riverside, Chelsea Savage. In lane 7 from South Esk, Taylor Rain. And in lane 8 from Hobart Aquatic, Lauren Todorovich. This is the A final of event 131.
So getting down towards the sharp end of the championships, only a few events to go. It is the girls 14 to 15, 100 metres freestyle. Up and about, and they're going. And a very, very enthusiastic crowd watching these young ladies go, and I reckon they will be too, because this is going to be a close one. McCarthy in 4 with a 1:46. Then we go back to Domi Maloney with a 1:51, and Ellie Castricum Duff with a 1:66. So as they go hard, it is the fastest qualifier in lane 4. McCarthy turning hard, and she's decided, you've got to come and catch me if you can. I'm going out hard and I'm not leaving anything to chance. Let's see what the other girls have got left in them now. We'll expect them to come home. In lane 3, it is Castricum McDuff working hard. Lane 5, trying to work into the race, is Domi Maloney. But at this stage, it is McCarthy in the middle. They're not going to get near her. She has timed her run to perfection. She went out hard and has maintained her form. And McCarthy finishes first, followed closely by Castricum McDuff and Maloney, and she'll be pretty pleased with that, with a 58.30, and that's much swifter than this morning. And there are our official results. 3 girls under the minute mark, and that is very, very tidy swimming for girls. 14:15, 100 metres freestyle here at the Doone Kennedy Aquatic Centre.
Edge to the pool, so you're not impeding the officials as they walk the length of the pool. Thank you. As we present the B final of event 131.
So the girls getting ready for the B final. They're away from bottom of screen, working our way up to top. It is Myra Donnelly, the 15-year-old from Riverside in lane 1. Mackenzie French from Launceston in lane 2. Adelaide Skipper from Launceston Aquatic in lane 3. Gemma Jones in lane 4, the Nuttawading swimming competitor. Georgie Maloney in lane 5 from MIC Aquatic. In lane 6, Brenna Lemon from the Hobart Aquatic. Amber French in lane 7 from Sandy Bay, and Ella May in lane 8, Hobart Aquatic, as they turn in lane 4. Showing the ascendancy is Gemma Jones, swimming very tidily in front of Georgia Maloney, back to Adelaide Skipper, and swimming perfectly now. She's timing it right down to a T, kicking a little bit harder, increasing her lead now is Jones. And Georgie Maloney is not making any indentation, maybe just slightly onto her hip, as you can see the coaches urging their swimmers on, and down into third. So it is Jones, Maloney and Skipper in the B final of the 14 to 15 girls 100 metre freestyle.
Event 132 in your program, the final of the men's 400 metre individual medley, which of course is our penultimate event. Introducing the finalists, swimming in lane 1 from Sandy Bay, Ty Waddington. In lane 2 from Nunawading, Evan Chee. In lane 3 from Melbourne H2O, Morgan Morphew. In lane 4 from Nunawading, Jack Gurry. In lane 5 from Yarra Plenty, Jamie Kun. In lane 6 from Nunawading, William Patrick. In lane 7 from HC Swim Club, Michael Bolt. And in lane 8 from Hobart Aquatic, James Belstead. This is the final of event 132.
Well, this is going to be a very, very interesting race. Of course, that name, Belstead, is synonymous with this particular stroke. As a 17-year-old, Tim Belstead set the record of 4:37.66. That was in 2014, so a rich heritage for that particular family. So this is a really, really tough race, and of course some of the boys that are in it have a wide variety of ages. So they've got 100 metres in each discipline, so they'll be absolutely exhausted at the end of this. Of course, one of the famous names was Michael Phelps from the US of A, who of course was one of the more dominant world swimmers in this particular race. And in fact, he could go round in the individual disciplines. But we have got a range of 19 right through to 13-year-olds in this. As we see in lane 5 taking it out is Jamie Cunnan from Yarra Plenty Swimming Club. But as we go, Ty Waddington qualified with a 5:23.06 down in lane 1. In lane 2, Evan Chee qualified with a 5:11.53. Lane 3, Morgan Morphew with as a 16-year-old with a 4:54.93. Jack Gurry from Nunawading, a 15-year-old, a 4:47.77. And Jamie Cunn, 4:51.90. William Patrick in lane 6. The 13-year-old Nunawading swimmer, the 5:09.73. Michael Bolt, the 19-year-old from HC Swim Club, 5:12.27. And James Belstead in lane 8 from the Hobart Aquatic, the 19-year-old with a 5:38.06. As they've turned and they're now on their backstroke discipline. And it is in lane 4, Jack Gurry from the Nunawading Club. As you can see there, working into the race. This is such a tough event, getting 100 metres of every single swimming discipline. There you see in lane 6, working hard, that was Jamie Cunn, the Yarra Plenty swimmer. Touching now, that was also lane 3, Morgan Morphew. As they go into the breaststroke, it is lane 4, Jack Gurry now. He'd really be keen to push some of that ascendancy he has on this race and get a very, very nice lead so far. So it is Jack Gurry, followed by Morgan Morphew in 3. Lane 5, Jamie Cunn. We go back up then to lane 6, William Patrick, as we can see there. Back down to Michael Bolt, James Belstead, Evan Chee and Ty Waddington up in lane 1. Still showing really, really good form. And of course you can see the lead that this young swimmer has now, Jack Gurry, who did a 4:47.77 this morning. This lead will only be increased once he turns for the freestyle, because that is the fastest of the disciplines. And please make no mistake, this is an open event and he is a 15-year-old and he is swimming so very, very nicely. As we cast our eye as the 15-year-old record, and in the 400 individual medley, that was Jacob Vincent set that in 2014 with a 4:32.23. Let's just check that, 4:32.23. So that's what he's really going out for. See now, really got some distance in it, but it's going to be very, very close. You can see for the silver and the bronze, but it is all a race in one as we follow our leader who touches and comes round, and that is Jack Gurry. Really good performance from the Nuttawading Swimming Club swimmer. Kicking hard, increased the beat on the tempo, and we can see here now him really working hard, good form, very, very fit athlete. And you have to be to do this one. This is very, very arduous on the body as he's gliding in, young Jack. He touches now. He's got a victory, 4:46.17, under his previous performance. Nicely done by Morgan Morphew. You can see up in lane 8 working hard is James Belstead. Back down to lane 3. That was Morgan Morphew in lane 2. Evan Shee just finishing up. Oh, they'd be breathing heavy. They'll certainly need some singers from Cripps the Master Bacon. They'll get plenty of food here at the Doone Kennedy Aquatic Centre once they finish. But Jack Gurry, very, very good performance from Morphew, Bolt, Waddington, Kahn, Shee, Petrick, Belstead.
3. The final of the women's 400 metre individual medley. The final event and what has been a long weekend. Introducing the finalists, swimming in lane 1 from Nunawading, Lucy Webster. In lane 2 from Ringwood, Dakota Mathers. In lane 3 from Nunawading, Abby Harrington. In lane 4 from Nunawading, Rydell Smith. In lane 5 from Nunawading, Vivian Zhu. In lane 6 from Nunawading, Joysetta Giddy Putu. In lane 7 from Nunawading, Melissa Sharp. And in lane 8 from Oasis Otters, Bridget Lynn. This is the final of event 133.
Lovely start in the last event here at the Doone Kennedy Aquatic Centre. And I think there's been a change in this race. I think it was lane 6, Giri Poo, I think was the competitor I heard go round. So we'll see how she goes. But let's just go back in to the middle of the pool where our fastest swimmers are going around. It is in lane 3, Abby Harrington has touched first on the first 50 metres. Back up into lane 4, Rydell Smith. And they are really working hard up and down the pool. It's a very hard discipline, arching the back, kicking hard. So you've got to try and propel that body out and upwards, and so you get that full momentum. And if you aren't strong in the body, you'll tend to sort of drop a little bit low in the water, and it's almost like a boat taking on water. So back in towards the middle of the lanes, it is Rydell Smith in lane 4, Abby Harrington doing a very, very good job in lane 3, Vivian Zoe in 5, and the competitor in lane 6 is Ginny Putti Guru. So now as we look across the pool, it is lane 3, Abby Harrington doing a very, very nice job. Back to lane 4, Rydell Smith. Up at the top of the screen, lane 5, Vivian Zhu. And they're really stretching out as you'd expect in this last one. And a variety of ages too in this particular race. It ranges from 13 to 19. So there's a lot of girls, sorry, I apologise, 12 up to 19. So there is a lot of competitors who indeed have some incremental improvement as they get in the pool, get a bit older and stronger. But now we watch these competitors, and I tell you what, the enthusiasm from the crowd is almost deafening, and they've been having an absolutely wonderful weekend here in Hobart. We are at the Doone Kennedy Aquatic Swim Centre on the beautiful Queen's Domain. So as they touch, and I am just reminded, ladies and gentlemen, if you've enjoyed this racing and you have a relation who has swum and you've missed it, wow, you can contact Duff TV and hook in, and we'll give you all that information, and you can purchase those races. And why wouldn't you? Then you can actually play them infinitum. You can do the slow-mo. You can play it again. I tell you what, if I'm one of these competitors, I'd love one of those on my USB, because when I'm a real old fossil, I can still get it out and I can show my grandkids how good I was back in the day. But it is back to these young ladies now. It is the open age, the breaststroke. It's the second last of the disciplines. They're going down now. They'll touch and turn round. Lane 4, Rydell Smith. Beautiful swimming there. Back down to 3, Abby Harrington. The other competitor, of course, was in lane 6. Taya Odell was a withdrawal, and Giri Putu Guru has taken over that position. So we can now see stretching out now, trying to bring that home to touch, and then into the final discipline, which will be the freestyle, and that will starting to really bring the house down. And that's what I've loved. I've loved the support from all the people in the different clubs, the mums, the dads, the grandparents that have come along here. They have enjoyed the swimming. And what about the volunteers that have come along, the officials? I tell you what, there's a gaggle of them all in their black tops. You see them being introduced and they walk out very, very proudly and take their spot. I understand there's at least 30 odd of those each night making this work. And of course, Jamie McIntyre, the El Supremo of swimming Tasmania, he'll really sleep well. But if I know Jamie, he might just slip home for a quiet frothy first and then put those feet up, and I reckon he'll sleep for the rest of the week. It is now back to the racing, and as you can see, there's one out in front, and that is Rydell Smith, really doing a fantastic job. The 15-year-old competitor from the Nuttawading Swimming Club, and that is Nuttawading have got plenty of swimmers. She is showing very, very good form. You can see her go around now. She was chasing that 5:21.95 from this morning, getting very, very close to the rope. And the reason being, there's not as much weight on the sides if you get back out to the middle, and she'll come back out more now as she's getting ready for a touch. Fantastic swimming. She has eclipsed the time from this morning as she touched in lane 3. It is Abby Harrington, up to 5, Vivian Zoe, and they are very, very excited. Lane 1 was Lucy Webster at bottom of screen. Dakota Mathers in lane 2, bringing it home now. In lane 6, that was Giri Puti Giri. In the top in lane 8, it was Bridget Lynn. And coming in now, as we can see, that was Giri Putu Giri. And you can see the smiles beaming from these young ladies. Not only that they are happy with their time, but I reckon they're happy to have a bit of a breather. And there is your official result with a 5:12.99 in lane 4, Rydell Smith. So what about that, ladies and gentlemen? Action-packed swimming here. As we can see, the Nuttawading Club, they are cock-a-hoot with Rydell Smith's performance over on pool deck. And you can see the smiles on everyone now, because it has been a brilliant performance by everyone concerned here at the Doone Quinity Aquatic Centre. It has been timed to like military precision. So I hope you've enjoyed the coverage. We here at Duff TV have been thrilled to bring you all the highlights of the 2018 Cripps the Masterbake Swimming Championships, the long course event, as we're seeing some of the competitors just filing out. And I reckon there'll be a bit of celebration tonight. But don't forget, if you would like to log in to Duff TV and get a copy of the swimming, you can do. It's everything there you can get. We'll have all that information on the website Duff TV, so go there to get all the information to get some of the I would have called it the old videos. Now it comes on USB, or you can get your flash drive or just download it. But Martin Duffy and all the very, very hard-working crew, they'll bring you that information. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is Andrew Silver Fox Hopwood here in the main commentary position, wishing you a very warm good evening, and I hope you've enjoyed the long weekend. We've enjoyed bringing you the 2018 Cripps Long Course Championship. Our very dear friends and partners, Paul Godomsky and all the crew at Cripps the Master Bake, they'll be out there making sure you get fresh bread in the morning. It's a good night, and we hope you've enjoyed the coverage. Very, very good night.